Hey everybody, this is Sarah from Center for the Blind, and I'd like to welcome you to another tutorial video. Today we'll be looking at the instructions for reading quarterlies and periodicals. We'll be talking about preparing your work, creating your first track, and saving your work in progress. First of all, if you haven't done so already, download and install Audacity. You can do this by going to www.audacityteam.org. You can also check out our other instructional video on how to download and install. Next, you'll need to create a new folder, naming it after your assignment. Be sure to put it in a place where you can access it easily. As you can see, I've created a folder here on my desktop called Projects. Inside it, I created a folder named after the Adult Student Guide for the spring quarter of 2017. That's what we'll be using as an example in this tutorial. Next, you'll need to plug in your microphone and open Audacity. Before we record our first track, let's just check to make sure everything is how it should be. First, check to make sure that your microphone is showing up in Audacity and that the correct microphone input has been chosen. So I'll come over here to the picture of the microphone, and there's a pull-down menu next to it, and I'll click on it. And my microphone is selected. But if any one of these other choices had been selected, then I would just need to click on the right one that is my microphone. And if right next to it you see an option that says 2 stereo, but I'm going to change that to mono. This isn't absolutely necessary, but it does save work later on for other people, so it might be nice if you decided to do that. Okay, and the other thing that I'm going to change, I'm moving over to here to the right, to the speakers. I'm going to make sure that my speakers are set to the setting that I want. Now, if I chose this speakers Realtek down here, this would be my actual desktop speakers, but I don't want my voice coming out of those speakers while I'm trying to record. So I choose this one because these are the headphones that are attached to my microphone, and that way the sound will only be in my ears and not get recorded twice. Okay, if you have any troubles with figuring out which microphone to use, which speaker setting to use, please do feel free to contact us. You can call us, you can email us, we will walk you through what you need to know. Now that we're ready to get started with our first track, I'll push the record button just to test out my microphone and make sure it's working. Check, check, check. It looks like it's working. Anytime you need to stop your recording, you can just do so with this square button over here. Now, this track right here, this test track, I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm going to do so by clicking this X over here in the left-hand corner, because I don't need to keep it. Now I'm going to start recording my first track. For my first track, I'll be reading from the instruction sheet. The quarterly I'm using today as an example for this tutorial is the Adult Student Large Print Edition, so that's the information that I'll be using when I read this beginning track. Adult Student Guide, Large Print Edition, March, April, May 2017, by various authors. Copyright 2017, ISSN 1059-3381, published by Gospel Publishing House. This material is being produced with permission under the auspices of the Center for the Blind of the Assemblies of God, Springfield, Missouri. Further reproduction of this material in any form, except for a specialized format for the blind, is an infringement of the copyright laws. Furthermore, to upload this material to a file sharing service or share this material in any other way is an infringement of the copyright laws. Read by Sarah Weingartner. This material must be returned to the Center for the Blind at the end of this quarter. Here you can see that a new track has appeared with the information that I recorded. This is the very first track. And if I go over here and I click this double arrow pointing to the left, It will move my position to the very beginning of my recording, and I can listen to it by pushing the play button. Adult Student Guide, Large Print Edition. I can remove any mistakes I make, or any portions of the audio that I don't want to hear, by clicking and dragging on the portion that I don't want to hear to select it. Then I can just push the delete key on my keyboard. And there you have it. The portions of audio that I don't want are gone. Now the next thing that you'll want to do is to save your work in progress. As you record your assignment, you can save everything in one Audacity project, waiting to export everything until the very end. To do this, go to File and choose Save Project As. Navigate to the folder you created for your assignment. Name your project and choose Save. Now, if we take a look at our folder and we check inside of it, you'll see that it has two items. This first one is the data folder. You can recognize it because it has an underscore data at the end of its name. And the second one is your actual Audacity project. You can recognize it because the very end of it is .aup. Anytime you need to quit and come back, this Audacity project file is the one that you'll double click on to return to your work. While working on your project, simply choose File and then Save Project to save your work so far. You can then exit Audacity. To return to work, simply open the file ending it in .aup to begin where you left off. And that's it for our tutorial today. Please check out our other videos for extra help, or as always, you can contact us by calling us or emailing us. Thanks for watching.